The air in the bustling ER of Paramount General Hospital was thick with the sterile scent of disinfectant, yet it couldn't hide the acrid stench of malice. Dr. Elena Vance's voice cut through the chaos like a shard of glass. "Who do you think you are, little girl? We don't serve your kind here. If you wanted a birth like cattle, you should have stayed in your muddy village." Amara, 38 weeks pregnant, was bent over in agonizing pain. Sweat glistened on her face, and her breath came in shallow, frantic gasps. One hand clutched her swollen belly, the other gripped the cold door frame. "Please," she whispered, trembling. "I need help." Dr. Vance scoffed, a cold, humorless laugh echoing in the room. "Help? You show up screaming, no ID, no insurance. Just like all your people. You think the world owes you something." Amara tried again, her voice a desperate plea. "I'm in labor. Please, call security." Vance snapped at a nurse. "Or better yet, call the police. Let them deal with this mess." Moments later, Officer Marcus Thorne, sunglasses still perched on his nose, sauntered into the ER. "What's the problem?" he said, his eyes scanning Amara. "She steals something? They always do." Vance crossed her arms. "She's faking it. Wants free care. I've seen this countless times." Amara groaned, a powerful contraction folding her in half. "Shut it," Thorne barked. "Save the drama. You're being detained for disturbing the peace." "I'm in labor," she cried out. Thorne pulled out his handcuffs. "Cry me a river." Just 15 minutes earlier, a taxi had screeched to a halt outside the ER. Amara had stumbled out, clutching a worn plastic folder with her prenatal records and documents. Her contractions were 5 minutes apart. She could barely walk. Inside, she approached the front desk. "Excuse me, I'm 38 weeks pregnant. I need help." The receptionist didn't even look up. "ID." Amara fumbled through her bag, her hands shaking. "Here, please." The woman glanced at the paper, scoffed, and waved her away. "Sit. Wait your turn." Now, handcuffed and kneeling in a corner, Amara whimpered as a pool of blood gathered beneath her. Her cries filled the room, yet no one moved. No wheelchair, no gurney. "She's bleeding," said a young intern peering from the hallway. "So," Vance said, "let her learn. This isn't some charity clinic." "She's about to give birth," the intern insisted. "You lift a finger," Vance warned, "and you're done here." Amara moaned, her body lurching. Her wrists were raw where the cuffs cut into her skin. She collapsed sideways, gasping. "Please, my baby. She's dying," she whispered to a janitor who was frozen near his mop cart. The head nurse sneered. "Mind your business. That's not your concern." "But she's hemorrhaging," the janitor shouted. "She'll lose the baby." An elderly woman rose from her seat. "Is no one going to help her?" "Sit down unless you're delivering for her," the nurse snapped. The woman's Saturday, Amara screamed again, a long, guttural wail. Then silence. Her head lolled. Blood seeped across the white tiles. "She needs help now," the intern cried, stepping forward. Vance's eyes narrowed to slits. "I'm not risking my license for a nobody with no name or insurance. She has preeclampsia. She's seizing." Vance glared at the intern. "You treat her, and you'll be the one sued." The janitor reached for the wall phone. "I'm calling OB." "You touch that phone," the nurse growled, "and you're gone." But the janitor dialed anyway. "I don't care. She's a human being." Across the room, Amara's body convulsed again, her dress soaked crimson. The baby was descending, but no one helped. Her hands were still bound. Her lips parted, barely moving. "My baby," she whispered. "Please, not like this." The ER door slammed open. A tall man in a dark suit stormed in. His piercing blue eyes scanned the chaotic scene, locking onto Amara. His phone was clutched dead in his hand. Panic carved into his features as he rushed forward, his voice a roar. "What the hell is going on here?" Dr. Vance turned, arms crossed. "And who are you?" He didn't answer. He dropped to his knees beside Amara, checking her pulse. "She's unconscious and in labor. Why isn't anyone helping her?" "She's not a patient," Vance snapped. "No record, no ID." "She does have ID," he growled. "Her name is Amara Lawson. She works in my company. She's insured under our private plan." The room shifted. A stunned hush fell over the staff. The intern's face lit up. Then we can help her. No one touches her. Vance snapped again. She's my employee. The man shouted. If she or her baby dies, I will shut this place down. He pulled out a card and shoved it to the nurse. Executive VP of Genesis Ventures. I'm not bluffing. Dr. Vance's expression faltered for the first time. Amara stirred weakly, her lips cracking open. Lucas. He grasped her hand. I'm here, Amara. I'm here. You're not alone. The intern ran to fetch a gurney. She's crowning. We have to move her now. But it was already too late. Amara cried out one final time, a surge of pain racking her body. Then, where is she? William Sterling's voice cracked like thunder through the corridor. The CEO of Paramount General Hospital stood at the entrance, his suit slightly wrinkled, his face a mask of wild panic, his phone dead in his hand. Amara, my wife came here alone, pregnant, in labor. Where is she? Silence fell. Some nurses turned pale. Others exchanged fearful glances. One whispered, "It's his wife." William's eyes locked on the horrific sight at the far end of the hallway. There, on the cold, blood-slicked floor, lay Amara, unconscious, her body curled in agony, her wrists handcuffed, her dress torn, a baby's head beginning to emerge. He didn't hesitate. He sprinted to her side, dropping to his knees. Amara, my God, no. His trembling hands cradled her face. Who did this? Who left her like this? Officer Thorne stepped back, stammering. Is she your wife? William's eyes burned with a cold fury. Get those goddamn handcuffs off her now, or I'll press charges for attempted murder, negligence, and racial assault. I'll destroy you. The cuffs snapped open. William held her like she was made of glass. Code red. I want a gurney now. Obstetrician. Neonatal team on standby. Move. Panic erupted. Nurses scrambled. The young intern who had tried to intervene returned, teary-eyed. The baby's crowning. We have to deliver her right here. Save her and my son. William barked, his voice filled with command and grief. Medical teams flooded the hallway. Gloves snapped on. The blood-soaked floor was suddenly surrounded by sterile urgency. Amara's eyes fluttered open. For a moment, just one, she heard her baby cry. It was a short cry, gurgled, then silence. He's cyanotic. Someone shouted. No oxygen. Blue skin. Go. Neonatal specialists rushed the child away. The head doctor grimly reported, possible brain damage. We'll need hours, days to know the extent. William staggered back. Will you save him? We'll try. But the damage was done before we touched him. The doctor looked at Amara. She lost a lot of blood, but we've stopped the hemorrhaging. She'll live. William stood frozen beside the gurney as they rushed Amara to the ICU. He said nothing, just held her hand. 3 hours later, the hospital boardroom was a chamber of tension. William, no longer a grieving husband, but a furious executive, stood tall with a folder in his hand. Dr. Elena Vance has been suspended. Officer Marcus Thorne is off this campus permanently. I've requested a full criminal investigation to my wife. Your CEO's wife was handcuffed while in labor, bleeding on your floor. If she dies, if my son dies, this hospital dies with them. No one spoke. This hospital changes today. If you're not part of that change, the doors are right there. 5 days later, Amara opened her eyes. My baby, she whispered. William was beside her. He's alive, he said softly. She gripped his hand. The incubator? Not anymore. He's breathing on his own. But William's voice cracked. Mild cerebral palsy. He'll need therapy. But he's here. You're here. Amara broke down, not from grief, but from a mix of relief, rage, and injustice. She wept until no more tears came. William leaned close, his forehead touching hers. No one will ever hurt you again. Not while I breathe. A month later, a video filmed by a patient went viral. It showed Dr. Vance's racist remarks, the neglect, the screaming, the blood. Headlines blazed. Black woman denied care, gives birth in shackles. Protests erupted across the city. The National Medical Board revoked Vance's license permanently. She was charged with medical negligence, racial abuse, and failure to render aid. In court, she muttered, I didn't know who she was. She didn't look like someone who belonged here. A criminal? The prosecutor asked. She didn't answer. Officer Thorne was fired without a pension. Footage showed him handcuffing a pregnant woman as she begged for help. All his previous complaints resurfaced. He now faced multiple charges, but not all was darkness. The janitor who tried to call for help, the intern who cried for justice, and the young doctor who stepped in. They were all publicly honored. William promoted each of them. 6 months passed. Amara now pushed a small blue wheelchair through a sun-drenched park. Her baby, wide-eyed, smiled up at her. He still couldn't speak, but he laughed with his eyes. William walked beside her, a cup of coffee in his hand. Ready for today's therapy? Always, Amara said, brushing her son's hair gently. He's stronger than both of us. William wrapped his arms around her. The scars would never vanish, but neither would their fight nor their love. And this time the world had seen it.